and you play in Raccoon City, and it's nice that it takes place in Raccoon City in the second movie. But but Leon himself is not introduced until the fifth movie, and in the movies he is working for or hired. I can't remember either of these. I think he's like a mercenary or something, and he's hired by Albert Wesker, which, looking like comparing to the games, it makes no sense, because in the games, in the second game, he started off, it was his first day as a police officer in Raccoon City. All hell breaks loose, there's zombies everywhere, he fights to survive, whatnot, and after the whole events of the second game, I don't know, he kind of becomes like, he even gets in touch with the president. I can't remember what it is, but something happens and he becomes like a lifeguard, like at that high level that he can, I don't know, like the fourth game, you're supposed to find the president's daughter. What I'm trying to say is, in the games, he's a really good guy. He's your typical American good guy, PG-13 dude who's trying to do the best, you know.
So
And in the movies, he's introduced as some mercenary who's like one of the best or something, but he's still just a mercenary hired by the bad guy to bring in the protagonist, basically. So like this really switched around his character as well as others, but I think it works because it's completely different storylines and completely different universes, so it works, but it's very different story arcs and overall different characters, even though they are the same, you know?
okay then. That's a bit awkward to me.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I thought so too in the beginning, but then I got used to it, and then I really started seeing these two universes as they are separate. That's what they are. So I'm just gonna take it for what it is and enjoy it. I mean, it's still it's still Leon. It's still the character I like. Although if I remember the movie correctly, I mean that character. I mean the actor who plays Leon, he looks very reminiscent of Leon. He acts more or less like him. I can't remember. I think he's a really good actor, at least, so that's good that they got that right, at least. And same goes for the other characters. They have actors who looks like the characters from the games, and they act like the characters from the games, but more seriousness and not as much cheesiness, basically.
Okay.
But like, is the Resident Evil movies are very split between fans and critics alike. There are those who consider the movies to be masterpieces. I don't, but I love the movies, so I'm in the I love it area, or whatever you say. And then there's those who just purely hate it, think it's trash, it's bad characters, bad stories and everything, and it strays way off from the games, they think, and it just blows everything for them. And
Well, it just highly depends on the people who like what kind of movies. Probably those people who just don't like that probably don't like the whole zombie type of movies overall.
but I think also it's plenty of the super hardcore game fans who got disappointed when, I mean, the games, starting with the fourth game, Resident Evil 4, started going with more action-oriented gameplay. The fifth movie became like a fucking action movie, but horror elements. And the sixth game was all over the place. And that's something that most Resident Evil fans didn't like. They want, to this date, Resident Evil fans all over the world want Capcom to go back to Resident Evil's roots as a pure horror game with action elements. And instead of like a fucking action movie, but it has like zombies in it and Resident Evil characters. That's what most fans don't want. And then you get the movies that's action movies but with horror elements and names from the games. So I think that is the main reason, and the switching out and whatnot of characters' story arcs and their origins and whatnot. I think that's what turns off most hardcore fans, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the movies. I love them.
I love them myself, but when you look so deeply into them, you find some things that you might not like about them anymore.
But you can really see that they're trying to make something that like they really want the movies to differentiate from the games, and you can really see that. Also something that I have seen actual comments from and heard people say, something that have turned them off a little bit that they think is weird, is when Alice starts getting these powers. I mean,
Well, she had powers from the very first movie, but she just didn't know how to correctly use them back then. She self-learned them, right?
it was actually in the second movie when she first started
Oh yeah,
getting them.
she appeared in second movie.
Yeah, the first movie, she was like quote unquote the worst character. I don't mean that. She was really good performance and everything. I mean, she didn't know anything. She was like this, what is going on? What's this? What's that? How do you use a gun? Like, you know, like that. She was kind of useless. In the second movie, she had fought zombies in the first, and she learned. And by the second movie, like, it starts off with like, she just fucking reloads the shotgun and she's ready for everything. And she starts being really up there with her agility and speed. Also, I think she may or may not have a faster processing mind because she's really quick to react. And what they did with the second movie with Alice and her powers, I think that was okay. But by the third movie, I'll admit all the powers she has throughout the movies, it was cool, I liked it, but it really strayed away from the Resident Evil games, having those kinds of powers, like when she had like these explosive telekinesis powers in the third and fourth movies. Like, well, what was that? But that's actually a little bit hypocritical. I can't say the word. God damn it. I can't say that on one note, but on another note, Albert Wesker also has powers in the games. Like he has like the powers Albert Wesker has in the movies. He has those, but I think even more in the games. But he's one character who has it, and it just kind of freaking weird when Alice gets all those sci-fi powers like out of nowhere, and you don't even understand it until later. But you know, it's kind of weird. It fits to a certain extent, but I still completely like I can see why it's off-turning for some people.
Yeah, I know that there are many people who just don't like the fiction aspect in the movie. Like, zombies are fictional themselves, but when people start gaining some weird abilities out of nowhere, that's at least at the point where when it for me becomes boring. And I'm not saying the movie is boring, but personally, I did not like that aspect. But it keeps the franchise going, I assume. and that is pretty much the only explanation why the hell the person, in this case Alice, is still alive, is one of the few survivors.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Jens over here who just called me a faggot. Well, how did you know?
Okay, so gentlemen, Jens, my good old pal and friend, what do you think about the Resident Evil franchise? Have you seen the games? Have you seen the movies? Have you played the games? Let me know. So I want to engage with more people here.
Engage in pornography. It's multiple people.
Jeez, goddamn, dude. What? So,
oh, he's all about hyped about Suicide Squad.
okay, so I guess you have not played the games nor seen the movies, then. Yeah, the delay is fucking real. It's like 5 seconds delay, I think, which isn't too bad, actually.
I think it's bigger, but whatever. I'm more about Resident Evil. In the third movie, when they were like in the desert, it was so weird that most of the zombies were black. Like, did you notice that?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
I noticed.
And also the super zombies in the third movie, like those who learned to like call a phone and you know, be civilized, but once they got triggered, they went into rage. I honestly thought that was a great side story that they should have expanded on throughout the rest of the movies, but they didn't. They kept it for the third movie, and that's all. You little fucking twats. It was interesting.
Well, they made the certain zombies for certain places, as in those rage nigger zombies only in the desert. It's like species alongside animals. You don't get elephants in Europe.
No, but no, they released them there because they knew that the gang was in the desert. That's why they released the super zombies on them.
But that doesn't explain why they all were black.
I have no like idea about that. I cannot explain it because I haven't even noticed it myself. So I have literally no comment.
I wonder if they actually stole some African people, because, well, they're badly sheltered, of course. Like they said, come inside my truck and you're gonna have a cool house and water. I'm like, this is slightly racist, but that movie is racist. At least the third part, when all the zombies were niggers.
Dude. Also, I think it's just going to include two old fuck men talking about no one gets. Yes, Jens, that's about right.
Exactly. Finally, somebody who understands that nobody gives a shit about blacks.
Shut the fuck up! I'm gonna get banned.
No, you're not gonna get banned. I'm gonna unban you.
Okay, fair enough, dude. That's really comfort. Anyways, some like back to the topic of different types of zombies. I just think the movies they do it so poor. I mean, like, the games, the lore behind every single zombie type in the games is so huge. In the movies, it's like, oh, in this movie, there's apparently zombies who can run now. Who are they? Where did they come from? Damn. Why is that zombie running while all the other zombies